Alright, it's filming. It's Mary from the Make and Do Studio. This is the first filming I've done of this. I'm not doing another one. This is a one-shot deal, so it's probably gonna have a couple of airs in it. You might hear the dog barking, all that kind of stuff. But if you can handle it, so can I. This video I'm putting up is actually in place of the content that I normally write in the newsletter. For those of you that have been coming and reading the newsletter for however long, you know that I tend to write a nice article in the beginning that's either timely or something that's of interest to people that come to the studio. So this is in replacement of that. So there's going to be a little bit of information in it, and I've got some great news, which is my first set of news. But the idea is it's just going to be a very general thing. I've been really busy the last 2 weeks. My kids have been off on holiday, which for those of you that have got kids off, you know what that means. You just really go into lockdown. We still have had workshops going on, but everything else that's on the outside of it hasn't really been done, like writing for my newsletter. So this is where the idea came up of just, I'm gonna video it, mistakes and all, and then at least it's better than nothing. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of news. I've got 3 bits of news that I'm gonna talk about, and then I'm just gonna take you for a quick tour around the studio. If you've not been to the studio before, what you're probably gonna find is you're surprised at how small it is. And it is very small, but we like to think that even though we're small, we come across as a really big presence. In theory, we growl like a lion, though we're only a little cub. But anyway, so I'm gonna give you my 3 sets of news. My first one, and I'm really excited about this one because it's not really anything to do with crafting or anything like that, is there's gonna be a new baby in the studio. Not me. I mentioned that to my husband because he almost fainted when I pointed out that there was going to be a new baby. It's Sarah Plant. If anybody's been to the studio and you've taken any of our bag making workshops and the lamp making workshops, it's Sarah that's taught you. And the good news is she's pregnant with her first baby. We're so excited. There's not been any babies other than mine quite a while ago. And you do start to get the hankering for a new little presence around. So yeah, she's due early December. She's absolutely fine about me telling everybody. I wanted to just double check to make sure that she was. She's obviously still going to be teaching here, I guess, up on the run until whenever she wants. So if you're here and you see her, please feel free to congratulate her. If you follow her on her Facebook page, then please feel free to say congratulations to her as well. We're really excited, and I'm sure I'm going to be updating you on that as we go along as well, because it's nice, isn't it? Babies are nice. So the second bit of news is that we are just trying to get the new schedule sorted for September. Caroline, who those of you who will know, I talk about Caroline in my posts. Caroline has done my website. She's also the person that keeps me organized from an admin point of view. We're just starting to work on the new schedule. Not a huge difference from what we have now. We're going to add perhaps a workshop on working with stretch fabric for sewing clothes, but it's just really a matter of finding the time for that. But that'll be up hopefully in the next week or 2, so if you're interested in signing up for some stuff starting in September, you can do that in the next week or 2 and away you go. The other thing is, I'm just about to book my tickets because I'm going back to Vermont this summer. Now again, for those of you that have been part of the newsletter and part of the studio for a long time, you know that I tend to go back every summer anyway. This one's slightly different. I'm going back on my own. Nothing ominous about it. It was just that my 2 older kids were busy doing their thing. My husband's traveled a lot for business, and everybody kind of said, we really just want some downtime, whereas I didn't want downtime. I want to go back. So I'm going to go back. It'll be mid-August for about 10 days. Now when I'm there, I'm going to be doing a lot more filming because I think it's a lovely part of the world. It's a really big part of what's made me me. And I think the great thing is now with things like Facebook Live and video, you can use video more to show people. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of that. The other thing I was going to say to you is when I haven't booked the tickets yet because I'm using this new app called Hopper. And anything I refer to in this video, I'm going to put down below. And it's this great app that helps you decide the right time to buy your plane tickets. Now I'm doing it a little bit as an experiment because it's only me flying back, so it makes it a lot easier for me to be flexible about booking. But it's a really interesting app, and the idea is it's going to hopefully help you book tickets at the optimum price time. So I'll put a link to it below and I'll tell you about my experience because it keeps telling me not to buy yet, even though I want to fly in August, which is really making me a bit nervous, but they know what they're doing. So I'm going to tell you how it ends up, if it actually works or not, and if I don't manage to have a heart attack without having to book a ticket between now and then. So I think that's the big 3 sets of news. Baby, the new schedule, and going back to Vermont. and hopefully being able to video that. So again, if there's any links that I think are important with reference to that, I'll put them down below. So what I'm going to do, and this is might be a bit jiggly, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to take this off its stand. I try not to give myself a double chin. That's the only problem when you do these. And get my hand out of the way. I'm going to turn it around, which is one of these buttons on here somewhere. No, it's not. I think I might actually have to stop and start again to turn it around because it doesn't look like it's able to do it. So I'm going to stop this. It doesn't mean I'm going to do any editing, and I'm going to turn it around and we're going to start again. Okay, there we go. We've turned it around. Right. I'm just going to give you the quickest of tours. So for those of you that know, obviously the studio is on the back of my house. I've done a write-up about it, and it talks about the fact that it was my husband's cinema room when we first moved in, and unfortunately he lost that when we moved in. And you can see it's just got a wall of fabric, and this is a lot of the stuff that we use in our workshop. I was very tempted, I have to say, when I knew I was filming it, to tidy up. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to show it to you, warts and all. This is what was left over from a dressmaking workshop yesterday. You can see we've got some traced pattern pieces there. We've got some fabric with feather paper. If we walk around here, you can see that we've got, again, some pattern pieces here that we've traced. We've got some reference books and some patterns that I try to show people about when we're teaching them about different patterns. Again, you can walk around, you can see we've got books that we tend to give out on a free loan because I like to be able to give people access to that. And everything that we use is kind of within arm shot, isn't it? We try to make sure that we've got everything that we need for all the various workshops. That is the chalkboard of knowledge. And it's not even really a chalkboard. It's just one of those boards that you can paint with the black paint, and we just tend to put everything on there. All that information is a combination of Anne's classes for the last couple of weeks. Anne is the lady that does all of our soft furnishings workshops, and she's the real deal. She'll show you how to do it, she'll show you the maths, but as you can see, don't let it scare you. It actually just gives you a really good blind or a really good pipe cushion or whatever. And then you can see there's all little bits. That's just all of our interfacing and our wadding and all that kind of stuff. We've got all of our, there's my finger, sorry about that. We've got sewing machines all hidden away. Those machines, I've got to do some servicing because they're getting a little bit hinky, as we like to say, so they need a little bit of work. And then you can see, like I said, it's just a wall full of various things. There tends to be a lot of stories around the various things that are there, either sewing machines, or like in this case, this was something that was recently donated to the studio by a place where there was an elder lady living there. She passed away. The family didn't want it. They called me and asked me if I wanted it, and of course I did because it's absolutely lovely. So I'm hoping that gives you an idea. We're very small. I guess that's what kind of makes us cool in that way. We're a little bit into small. Small works good. Small allows us to give you a lot of one-on-one and help you out with what you need to do. And the other thing is, I know a lot of people tend to think that if you're going to be doing something like this, you need to have a huge place. You need to have like a really big, venue to be able to do it and all that kind of stuff. You don't need to have a venue. That's very big. You can start really small like I did years ago, where it was just me and a couple of tables. So if you're thinking about doing something like this, it's totally possible. You don't need a huge space. You just need to have a lot of faith that what you're doing is good. You have to have knowledge in what you're teaching, and then you just have to have the confidence to start out. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to get this loaded up. Hopefully it'll be all sorted in the next kind of couple hours so that I can get it up on the newsletter. You have to do the two. You have to send the video off. It kind of has to do what it needs to do, and then it comes back to me, and then I can upload it onto the newsletter. So anyway, folks, I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, not professional, not polished. At least there was no dogs barking, and I don't think I swore once during it, so that's probably a good thing as well. Anyway, folks, there you go. Enjoy it, and have a nice weekend. Bye now.